Your Majesty, I'm honored by your visit. Just how may I be of service?
I've come into possession of a quatrain that your former secretary says was written by you. Recent events seem to confirm it word for word.
What's it all about?
It's a curse. 12 people are marked to perish before misfortune strikes my family. You have to come see me tomorrow and work to stay out our fate.
Your Majesty, I regret I'm in poor health and I can no longer get about as I used to.
I know you are weak, but I've really no choice. Your secretary doesn't seem qualified, and I know nobody else to whom I might turn.
I could send you my son, Cezara. I'm sure you won't be disappointed. He should return tomorrow evening.
If you have faith in the boy, I'll share your confidence, but he'll have to hurry, for every day brings a new death.
Very well, Your Majesty. You may leave your hiding place, Madelaine.
You told her that Cesar would be there tomorrow, but he's not back for at least 10 days.
I'm well aware of that, daughter, but it's hardly important since it's you who will go to the Queen. I'm quite sure you'll do very well. Sure of it. After all, you should find it amusing, I think. What do you say?
That you're pottier and pottier. What makes you think she'll take me for Cesar?
Don't worry. We'll have ample time tomorrow.
Well, Cesar, it's not going to be easy to take your place, but it might be fun. Well, well, Cesar's hidden some constellations in the sky in his portrait. If I know him, this isn't just a coincidence. Father always keeps this door closed. It's a shame. His observatory is definitely the place in the house that I prefer. Morning.
Good morning, sweetheart. Ready to slip into the skin of your brother?
I think that I am.
Fine. Now you have to work on your appearance. For the moment, you're far from resembling him. Take this case. It'll make you seem more serious in your part, and it might even prove useful to you.
Thank you.
And don't forget, you have to find something to fix your face. Cesar has a darker complexion than you.
The signs of the zodiac and the parts of the body they influence. This rope will certainly not take the weight of a full bucket of water. There's enough of it. This system is really practical for kneading without getting too tired, but that's on the condition it works. When I have a chance, I'll go to the forge. Maybe I'll find something to repair it with. It's almost perfect. Except maybe for my complexion, you'd think you were seeing Cezara.
That's fine. The outfit is perfect. Now, what about your face? What have you got?
Yes, I found a recipe for coloring cream in Mother's old dressing table.
And you haven't even prepared it yet?
No, not yet, but I'm on my way now. No, I have something to do first. All I have to do now is heat the whole thing. It must be ready.
If you haven't finished preparing that cream yet, there's no reason to bother me. Perfect. I'll show you in a little while how just a bit of makeup can completely transform a face.
I've never met anyone that important. How should I act with Queen Catherine?
Be natural. No one is ever spontaneous with her, yet it's what she appreciates the most. People who are frank and funny.
I'll try.
If you're not comfortable, you could bring her something. Offer her a little jam, for example. She loves that. And above all, take these notes. They'll allow you to calculate her birth chart and learn to know her better. And that way, I'll see if you've retained what I've taught you about astrology.
I might fall sick going to the castle. Quarantine hasn't been lifted yet.
Don't worry. As far as I know, there hasn't been a single case of plague.
Then why has everybody fled or shut themselves up in their homes?
People are afraid whenever someone dies from an unknown illness. But believe me, the epidemic of the plague is only a rumor, no doubt stoked by Catherine de Medici's people. She'll go to great lengths to ensure her visit stays as confidential as possible.
Then why did you let Mama and the little ones leave, if there was no danger?
Your mother enjoys travel. I had no reason to hold her back.
About the chart. I think I've finished.
I was sure you'd do very well. You've always been talented for this sort of activity. But don't forget, the difficulty often lies more in the interpretation of a chart, and especially in the way you present it to the subject. The stars give us orientations, tendencies, but they never predict a certain immutable future. In any case, I'm delighted that you've retained the few rudiments of astrology I taught you. But now that you've reviewed your fundamentals and know how to dress like your brother, you'll have to learn to talk like him. To start, try to pitch your voice right. Then think about what you're saying. Cezara might not give the same answer as you.
All right, let's try.
Say something, anything, to see how you place your voice.
Something. Anything.
Excellent. You've completely grasped your brother's expression, but there's still some progress to be made on the voice. Try again.
Anything.
No.
Anything.
Perfect. You've done it. Let's take a little knowledge test. Don't forget to pay as much attention to your voice as to the answer. What's the first sign of the zodiac?
Aries.
Perfect. What zodiac sign rules the heart?
Leo.
Perfect. What common product is often used to avoid contagion?
Alcohol.
No, but your tone is right. How do you determine someone's sign?
According to the position of the moon in his natal sky.
That's fine for the voice, but I expected a better answer. What very rare animal matter crosses the seas before finishing in the hands of apothecaries?
Amber.
That's fine for the voice, but I expected a better answer. I'm afraid you may not be up to the task.
There's no point in trying to destabilize me. I had a good teacher, and I'll do what I must to prove it.
Your self-assurance isn't bad, but if changing your voice doesn't become a reflex, you're headed for catastrophe. What do you think of the theory that places the sun in the center of the universe?
Heliocentrism. Copernicus is right. All the calculations prove it.
So try to be careful about what you say. Even if I agree with you, you take big risks in making declarations like that. What is it we call the rising sign in a star chart?
It's the zodiac sign of someone's closest ancestor.
Try to think a little about what you're saying. What is an astrological aspect?
It's the relationship established between two planets in a chart, whether harmonious or conflicting.
That's right. The aspect is determined by the angular divergence of two planets. There are several kinds: conjunction, opposition, triangle, sextile, or square. But let's get back to the matter at hand. What common product is often used to avoid contagion?
Vinegar.
That's it. How do you determine someone's sign?
According to the position of the sun in his natal sky.
That's it, precisely. But we must expect changes in this respect, since our calendar is supposed to change before the end of the century.
What do you mean?
It's not precise enough. I think we're going to change our system of calculation. And, according to my predictions, we'll also eliminate 10 days, so that Easter will once again fall on April 21st, as it did a very long time ago. Oh, that won't change things much, but the signs of the zodiac will be shifted by 10 days.
So someone like Catherine de Medicis, who was born on April 13th, would no longer be a Taurus, but an Aries?
Exactly. Very good, young lady. You've done well. Now it's time for me to show you how to perfect your outfit. Tomorrow morning, you're going to the chateau to meet the Queen, and I want to be sure everything's perfect.
It's not yet entirely done. The earth hasn't shaken like that in a long time. This isn't a good omen. That part is too damaged. I'd do better to find another one to work on. The metal isn't hot enough to be forged. Ouch! The metal isn't hot enough to be forged.
What is it?
Hello, Smith. It's Cezara de Nostradamus. I need to repair a part from my mother's bread-kneading machine. May I use your forge?
Of course, young man. But you'll have to manage on your own. Since the plague struck our village, I prefer staying away from everybody.
That's a wise decision.
Yes, but we'll soon be wanting for food. When you finished repairing the bread-kneading machine, I wouldn't say no to a little bread. My wife and children have empty bellies.
No problem.
The metal isn't hot enough to be forged. The metal is... Ouch! Perfect. I just have to cool the metal and it'll be finished. This system is... There's enough. It's too heavy. No point in insisting.
I'm here to see Her Majesty Catherine de Medicis.
Enter. Her Majesty is expecting you.
You may enter.
Your Majesty?
César de Notre Dame, I am delighted to meet you. Your father must esteem you highly to send you to me. He must have explained to you how difficult I am to satisfy.
Indeed. But one can hardly be demanding with others if one is not the same with oneself.
Very good. So you know what to expect. According to Chavigny, your father is the author of this quatrain. Yet, when I spoke to him of it, he didn't seem to remember. It would seem that these verses are becoming reality. I need to know how this story will turn out, and if misfortune can be avoided. A scribe has traveled from Moulins with me. He has noted all the tragic events that have occurred in recent days. He has the order to transmit to you any information you consider useful. He's waiting for you, next door.
Very well, Your Majesty. I shall do my best to solve this mystery.
I don't doubt it, César. You may leave now.
I almost forgot. It's for you. My father's idea.
He hasn't forgotten what a sweet tooth I have. Thank him for thinking of it, and thank you for preparing it. Go now, you have much to do.
César? You're really him?
To be sure.
I thought you'd be older. I'm surprised.
Don't worry. My father wouldn't have sent me in his place if he hadn't thought I was up to the task.
I didn't mean to offend you, sir. Your youth does you honor. Her Majesty asked me to give you this. These are the notes I took concerning the strange events of the last few days.
Can you give me a brief summary of what happened?
Of course. On March 20th, the chambermaid of Princess Marguerite was found dead. The circumstances were suspicious. The next day, it was young Henry of Navarre's tutor. We all know that one misfortune leads to another, and that our Lord certainly has his reasons for calling his children back to him. But when, over the following 2 days, a lady companion of Her Majesty Catherine de Medicis, as well as the personal chef of King Charles IX, died in turn, the Queen Mother convened Jean-Aimé de Chavigny to ask his advice. That is how she came to learn of the quatrain written by your father, and decided to leave Moulins and the court to consult him.
Did you notice any particular connection among the deceased?
They all belonged to the retinue of the royal family, and therefore must have known each other. But beyond that, I don't see anything special permitting to establish a connection among them. But perhaps you will find helpful details in my notes. You know, I do not spend much time in the company of my fellow men, so sometimes I have a hard time understanding them.
Since your arrival, have there been any new incidents?
Unfortunately, yes. Yesterday, Her Majesty's coachman, and this morning, the castle librarian.
You mean the latest victim is not part of the royal retinue?
It's true. I hadn't thought of that. But it's probably not very significant. The curse is following Her Majesty. There are but 4 deaths left, my young friend, before evil strikes the royal family itself. Let us hope you can thwart the plans of the devil with the help of God.
Could I see the bodies of the coachman and of the librarian, and also the places where they found them?
The librarian, Philibert, was found in the scriptorium.
but I had him carried to the chapel to prepare him for burial. So start by visiting the library. It's just at the bottom of the stairway. You'll see that the accident that killed him caused a great deal of damage.
And the coachman?
He has already been buried. What with fear of the plague, bodies have to be got rid of quickly.
I understand. Thank you for your assistance. Did you know the librarian?
Only slightly. We exchanged a few words, but nothing important. I only know that he'd been here just 10 days or so, and had a lot of work. The Archdiocese has many precious works, but till now, nothing had been done to classify them properly.
It's locked. Perhaps it contains some of the librarian's things. That must be where the librarian's body was found. There might be something important to discover. I'll have to clear it. I'll have to clear it. I'll have to clear it. I'll have to... I'll have... I'll have to clear... I'll have to clear it. I'll have to... I'll have to... This hook could help me raise the shelf. But ideally, it'd be better to have another point to attach it to. No, I have to find another place to attach it. Too high. It's locked.
What is there over here?
Nothing interesting, sir. For that matter, you're not authorized to go that way.
I should have taken them out earlier. I doubt they're edible. I have to let it rest now.
Yes?
I brought you some bread.
Thank you very much.
Now, that's better. At last I'll be able to examine up close the place where that poor Philibert died. Well before the Romans occupied France, the Celts, a pagan people from the north, claimed to be able to predict the future. It is said they built many underground temples, where they conducted dark ceremonies. So, Philibert was interested in the Celts and their temples. It's surprising that he'd spend time on this sort of thing when the scribe said he had so much to do since his arrival. Strange, this pile of sawdust. That's what I thought. The break is too clean to be due to wear. Someone sawed this shelf. Philibert's death was therefore no accident. But who within these walls would have a reason to kill him? He didn't lose enough blood to die from that. He must have passed away due to an internal injury.